we need to talk about today. A day of hell, so I thought I'd bring you with me. Please don't talk to me anymore. Stop what you're doing! I literally ended up running to my first meeting of the day.
I've had £20,000 worth of fees accepted. Oh, quoted 39. As a sole trader in the UK, your responsibilities each year in terms of dates and deadlines are crazy.
We need to talk about today. If you're a YouTuber, if you're part of my YouTube family and you don't consume my content on other platforms, you're missing out, firstly. But secondly, I share a daily schedule every single day where on Instagram I show you what my day looks like because I love seeing other people's. Like Grace Beverley shares hers every day, and I just feel like as a female business owner, and specifically as a female as well, actually, I think that is important. Like specifically as like quite a young female business owner, I really like seeing what other people do. I learn a lot from them. It's like doing work experience with them, just being able to follow them around, do stuff. And so I share my daily schedules on Instagram every day, and I, on today's schedule, literally had to make a disclaimer to be like, I very heavily promote that productivity doesn't have to be painful, that my productivity is very sustainable, because I literally get people that DM me every day being like, it's giving burnout. And I have to be like, dude, I get 100% sleep scores on Whoop. Like my recovery today is 97%. Don't come for me. I am a well queen. But today, by the end of today, I'm not going to be a well queen. And I'm all about the balance. And so I actually thought I owe it to you. But also because I love vlogging. I really, really, really love it. And I actually thought in a day that is a bit cray, it's going to bring some sanity and some well-being to my day. So I have been working very hard to remove myself from the day-to-day running and the growth of my accounting firm, which I've very successfully done. We've recruited Annabella, who's a business development manager. She's been with us for 18 months now, so she handles all of our prospective client calls. However, she's currently in Australia. She is spending a month touring Australia in a camper van. And so for the next month, I am covering her role as well as my role, which is fine. It's obviously a lot of extra work, but it's nothing that I'm not used to. Like before she started, I used to do both, and I've like very much geared myself up to it. But I may or may not have forgotten to schedule breaks into my day. Like when Annabella started, I was very seriously like, I have done this for a long time. It's not sustainable. Like you need to have breaks in your day. And I forgot to put breaks in my day and just open my calendar. I'll put the schedule up here so you can see it. So I'm currently in monk mode at 6 a.m. I am going to get some deep focus work done. To be honest, given that I'm covering for Annabella and me, I mean, I haven't opened my inbox yet today, but when I closed it yesterday, I'm going to say ahead. Like when I closed my inbox yesterday, I had like 8 emails and they were all from yesterday, which for a weekday is pretty good. So yeah, I've got 12 emails in my inbox. And most of them, I think, actually relate to onboarding and like Annabella's job. So I'm going to get some head down, deep focus work done. To be honest, right now, I'm going to get the work done that I should be getting done during the day, which I'm not because of my diary. So we're doing 14 prospective client calls. Oh my God, this is wild. So we're doing 14. And James actually opened his diary to help me because I have a restricted calendar next week. And so James has opened his diary to help me. And I've just seen that he has 3 prospective clients in his diary for today. And he's got 4 in there tomorrow. So that's fun. Yeah, and like obviously this is a champagne problem. Like if you're a business owner or a service-based business owner, or if you're another accountant, you'll be watching this like, I wish I had that problem. I wish I had 14 prospects in a day. So we're obviously not lucky. I'm also very grateful that I work so hard and like I've really, really been pushing on social media because yeah, August and September were a little bit quiet for us normally, especially September is normally gearing up to be really busy, but I launched my podcast in August, which started in September. And I think that was very heavily, like I was talking a lot about that on socials, which is geared to other accountants, not business owners. And so I've had a real push the last few weeks and the inquiries have been mad. So to give you the numbers, we have had, I'm going to get my tracker up so I can tell you the numbers. Okay, it's currently the 20th of October. And in October so far, we've had 39 inquiries, which is busy, but it's not wild. Like in January, I'm pretty sure we broke 100 inquiries, which is hilarious because we actually don't take on new work in January. We take on new work, but not for the deadline. There's a tax deadline in the UK in January. So that's good for October. It's very, very good, but it's not like wild. But I would say the type of inquiries that we're getting at the moment are fantastic. Like, I feel like I'm really starting to see a lot of the really good bits that I've been doing on socials, and like a lot of the really, really hard work that I've been doing for a long time is paying off now, which is brilliant. So I'm going to get my head down. I need to look like an egg while I clear my inbox and try and get a day's worth of work done in under 2 hours before I just like shower and get ready for a day of hell. So I thought I'd bring you with me. I'm obviously joking when I say a day of hell as well. Please don't come for me, but I say a day of hell. I'm very introverted, and like doing that many calls back to back is obviously just very intense. Even if you're a raging extrovert, you'd probably get to the point where you're like, please don't talk to me anymore. So if I get monk mode done a little bit earlier, I was thinking about going and like putting a Thai red curry in the slow cooker or something, just to like give me some sanity at the end of the day. So, okay, let's go with some head down, deep focus work. It's 8 a.m. I've done 2 hours of monk mode, like proper deep solid work as well, so I feel very, very good. Yeah, good and prepared for the day. I've had Blue in here with me. Blue hates the shed for some reason. This is shed quarters, which is my home office, and Blue just doesn't like it. I always try and bring him in here with me so that we can spend loads of time together, especially when I'm like back to back, but he just doesn't like it. He just cries. You just like sleeping in the house, don't you, bud? So my diary's so crazy, James is actually gonna come back and just make sure that he's okay at multiple points throughout the day. So I'm just gonna shower and get ready for the day, but I was gonna say I'll bring you with me, but you're not going. Just gonna shower and get ready for the day, and I will catch up with you in a sec. I just got this ready to film and realised that you can see the monkey in the chandelier. The monkey in the chandelier is James and I are taking it in turns hiding this monkey around the house. And we're not saying anything to each other, we're literally just moving it around into weird, wonderful places, and it's escalated quite significantly because the monkey is now hanging from a chandelier in our spare bedroom. I have showered, I've got ready, I've got 20 minutes to look like a person before my first call of the day. Outfit so far is just some really nice Hollister, really comfy tailored trousers, because she's going to be sitting all day. I actually look like I'm on a Weight Watchers advert, but I bought these online, and they're a bit too big. I think they're an 8 and I should have got a 6. So I look like I'm on a Weight Watchers advert. Just a really nice Tala top, and then I'm going to put a nice blazer over the top as well. And I actually realised this is going to be a very nice get ready, because I did a Look Fantastic haul. This is not an ad. I'm not Molly May, not sponsored. I did a little Look Fantastic haul and realised this morning that so the first thing that I'm putting on is I got this vitamin C serum. I have the nighttime and the daytime. I realised yesterday when my order came that I went online to order one thing. It escalated into a Look Fantastic shop, and I did not get the one thing, you guessed it, that I went on to order. I love Elemis. Like any Elemis product, take my money, I will eat it, because I'm sure it would be good for you. The Elemis Cleansing Balm if you know, you know. It is the most elite skincare product I've ever used, and I'm a very low maintenance person when it comes to skincare. It is just incredible. I also bought, I'm actually just like trying some new primers at the moment, and I bought this Yves Saint Laurent. I bought this Yves Saint Laurent one, and I think because I spent money on specific products, I got a bundle of free little mini things. So I got a free setting spray, I got a mini setting spray, and I got a mini version of the big one. So I've got a big one, little one. So fingers crossed, it's really good, and I can use this one at home and then take this one away. But it's got glitter in it. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna out myself as the least girly in the world. But yeah, I'm trying to get some new primers, especially when there's days like today where I'm gonna be in front of a screen with lights and cameras all day. Yeah, so I did this whole Look Fantastic shop because I wanted the LMS cleansing balm, which is really expensive. And I was like, okay, if I'm gonna buy something expensive, like me and James do a quality of life audit every year, and we give ourselves money. So we have a pot of money each month, which is called like clothes and fun. So basically I either spend it on Look Fantastic or on Tala, very little else. And I was like, right, if I'm gonna spend some money, let's have a proper shop. It's getting to the end of October, it's nearly November, like let's do a little pre-Christmas haul, and then anything that I spend between now and Christmas will just be like Christmas presents for myself and for other people, maybe get a little advent calendar, stuff like that. And yeah, I literally did this whole order and forgot to buy the thing that I went on to buy, so I do not have the cleansing balm. Also, just for the girlies who are a bit like me, this is the foundation that I bought. I am very pale, and I feel like I'm really like sensitive to when I get foundation in the wrong colour. I mean, obviously everybody is, but I feel like when you look like a ghost and then you try and put something on with a little bit of pigment, you just look crazy. So sometimes I really don't like buying foundation online because I really can't check it. Look Fantastic, when I went to buy this, had this checker thing. So I know what shade I am in Bobby Brown, which is the one that's just run out, and I thought I'd try a new one. It was on offer, and I'd like Googled good foundation reviews because I don't know how else people shop for foundation. Found this one that I wanted, good price, recommended, all those things. And then Look Fantastic had this thing where I could select what shade I am in the foundation that I currently have, and it colour matches to the shade in this foundation. And it said like, this is an exact match. And then when I like selected different ones, it said this is slightly lighter or slightly darker. So this was an exact match to the foundation that I already use. Again, not an ad, but I like, as someone who's like quite busy, I really don't like shopping in person for stuff. This was brilliant. It literally meant that I like, even putting on now, I've just realised like I didn't even know if this was the right colour, and have just like slapped it on my face because I feel like I know it's the right colour. Foundation always feels, I mean, I know this is the whole point, I've just gone to say that out loud and realise it's the whole point, but foundation always feels so different when you got primer on underneath. But I don't know why, to me, primer feels like this really bougie extra step in my makeup routine. Like if I'm busy, primer is not going anywhere near my face. I always get huge imposter syndrome doing anything to do with my makeup on camera because I feel like there'll be people who actually know how to do their makeup watching it being like, stop what you're doing. Please don't come for me. I am really in a rush, so I'm gonna like stop filming now very rapidly, get ready, so that I don't do prospects with completely wet hair in about 10 minutes time. Yeah, 10 minutes. So I will catch you guys in a sec. All right guys, I literally ended up running to my first meeting of the day. I've actually just had 3 meetings back to back with not even time to like put bloody Vaseline on my lips. My lips are so dry. So I've just done 3 back to back. I have 2 minutes before my next meeting. I just ran and made a coffee. I did actually bring the camera inside to film whilst making a coffee, but the SD card wasn't in my camera. Obviously, the SD card wasn't in my camera because she's running around. So I've just done 3 back to back. The 3rd inquiry was just someone that we won't end up quoting for. I actually will pass that on to our referral of other accountants. So for certain people at like a certain price point, we just don't actually quote because they very often, like we're very like value driven, not price driven. And so I actually have a Substack network. I'll put the link in the description to this video, which is other accountants who want our overflow leads. So if we ever get a client that we don't or can't quote for, I like actually send them to other people. So we've got 1 minute. Let's just do the next meeting together. Come to the meeting with me. Okay, so we are just before the meeting. I've got the meeting room open. I've got 1 minute to go. I'm just gonna fill in the bits that I can fill in of my prospective client checklist. If you are another accountant and you feel like you're winging your way through calls, I actually sell our prospective client template because it took me years to build a process that really worked, and I feel like I finally got there. The other thing that you might be interested in is that we like AI record all of our prospective client meetings. It obviously helps the client to just feel like they can speak freely rather than having to like take loads of notes. So I actually give them a copy of the call afterwards as well. But it's also really good for us. Like if we end up taking that person on as a client, it means that the team can almost like get a feel for the client before we start working together as well, which is really nice. Obviously, the first call that I bring you with, the person is 2 minutes late. So if ever I get people who are no-shows, I stay in the Teams meeting ready for them, but I just tappy tap a bit of admin. Sometimes people can be up to like 3 or 4 minutes late, especially if they don't normally use Teams to meet. Like some people normally use Zoom, and so it takes them a couple of minutes to get logged on. So I just leave it open, but I'll just be doing other things at the same time. I should also give you a little outfit of the day as well. I don't know if I explained my outfit to you, but I didn't show you properly. Obviously, mentioned I had the t-shirt on, and then I've just put a little blazer on top, which I'm sure as we get into the afternoon will turn into a hoodie, but here we are. I've also just made a coffee. I normally only have 1 coffee a day, but needs must. Okay, this is going to be boring, so I'm just going to start recording. If this prospect doesn't come, I'm going to do some admin. I'm going to send out the proposals to the 3 people that I have spoken to today, and I will catch up with you in 25 minutes, which is when my next meeting starts.
I'm the one that calls the police to say, did that just happen, and get it all verified, and then lets the decide what we say on air and everything. So that's been my job for like the last 8 years. But throughout that, I got really interested in sexual rights and reproductive rights, and I have endometriosis, so I started learning a lot about women's health and just how much there wasn't around with that. And so I started a sexology degree to like niche out the journalism. So my goal was to kind of become a journalist that did all of this sort of work. But then I started writing articles about it, and I was interviewing all these people, and I was like, I want to be you guys. I don't want to be that. I want to be is going to be like more. It's going to be like sex education, focusing on sexual well-being. But I'm really keen to do a lot of workplace stuff, and actually like take sex ed like into business, and rather than it just being this like naughty taboo sort of topic. Business structure is kind of going to be a combination of like personal development stuff, so some courses, workshops, but then a lot of it will be actually working like directly with businesses and doing like residency programs.
This might actually surprise you. We actually have quite a few like sex therapists.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe because of what I do online, there's definitely an enhanced like approachability about our firm as opposed to like other firms, and I feel like maybe that is what it is, that like you don't like, people don't want to go to an accountant with a brown carpet and be like, so okay, amazing. And so are you okay to tell me a little bit about your tie to the UK? Obviously you're an international girly. Australia currently, so like what's your tie to the UK, and is that where you are currently plan to pay tax?
Yeah. So I've got indefinite leave. So I moved there when I was 20 before Brexit. So, and I've got a Swiss passport. But my plan is to pretty much like after this sort of like digital nomad-y, travel-y, redundancy little break, is to return to the UK, and like that's where I kind of see myself being like based, and that's.
We can do like an accountant's deep dive stalk on Companies House. So we are a limited company. There's a couple of different things that you have to do every year. So each year we have a set of accounts, which is where we look at all of the income and all of the expenses of the business. And so one of our jobs as accountants is to educate you and make sure that you understand all of the different ways that you can claim expenses through the business, because actually we're hugely driven by profit. We generally can't do much about your income, but we can do a lot about your expenses. And so we'll make sure that you are claiming things like a use of home allowance, mileage, personal phone bill, like lots of sort of intangible things that will be happening around your business that aren't tracked through the ins and outs of your bank statement as well. So talk to me in terms of your plans for the business. So whenever I do these things, I show you what it's like to be a client. I should give you access to all of the things that you get access to as part of being a client. So I realised that when I was chatting to you earlier, I had lipstick on my teeth. So thanks for telling me, guys. So if I was chatting to you earlier with lipstick on my teeth, no, it was not. This is my setup ready for my calls. I've got 3 minutes to my next meeting, which in prospective client land is like years and years of time. This client, I've got another client, and then I've got a break. I think someone must have cancelled this afternoon.
because that was definitely full earlier. Yeah, it's been a really good morning of prospective clients. Like, just really lovely people. And yeah, I'm gonna set this camera up because my camera died on my other camera. So I'm just gonna set you up to come behind the scenes on another prospective client call. Okay, this should be a nice one. This lady has actually said in her pre-meeting notes that she has been running a business for a while and uses my content to like help her to grow her business. So this should be a nice one. I've actually just got off a call with someone who I used to follow on YouTube. So that was really nice as well. Guys, I think hitting record on the camera is literally jinxing my meetings because every time I've tried to record a prospect call, the person doesn't turn up. Just a little casual outfit change. One of my prospective clients just didn't turn up. I was going to say they cancelled, but they didn't. They just didn't turn up. And so I had a spare like 25 minutes and I could have got some content out, could have recorded a voiceover for a reel, but I had to remind myself that I'm a human being and not a machine. And so I actually just blew out for a very quick whiz around the block, which was much more for my well-being than it was for his. All right, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 left, 2 hours to go. But I've had £20,000 worth of fees accepted in the last few days. I've done 2 days of quoting, including today. This is the second day. I've had £20,000 worth of fees accepted, so we can't complain. I can't complain. This is a champagne problem to be absolutely overwhelmed with work. It's also, at the time of recording, it's the UK budget, autumn budget announcement next week. So I have been doing lots of like PR requests and stuff this morning. Okay, I've got a good feeling about my next meeting. I just need to turn my lights on. All right, I've got a good feeling about this lady, so let me tell you what she has said. She has said, this is such a common wording from someone who's booked a meeting. Hi Rachel, I've just started working as a freelancer in event production and online consulting. It's my first time being self-employed. I'm quite unsure of what my obligations are for invoicing and taxes. I want to make sure I'm not accidentally committing fraud. And so I'm seeking an accountant who can help me understand those questions and provide support moving forwards. And we always ask them how they heard about us, and she said Instagram. So I just spent a couple of minutes before the meeting just getting my forms filled in. So I'm popping her email address on my form and popping her mobile number on my phone. So I basically just put together all of the information that I've got on file so that when she comes in, I can just get straight into things. So I'm filling in my form to say like where people heard about us, the date of the meeting, the time of the meeting. I'm hoping the YouTube video is not going to jinx me again and they're not going to turn up. And then I just need to get my meeting recorder. Also, please let me know in the comments if you like this style of video where it's like really, really, really behind the scenes. Because I never know if it's boring, but I feel like the more mind-numbing I think it is, actually the better the content that is, because that's the sort of content that just nobody else shares. Like when I watch content, especially business content by people who like feel like me, I literally want so much content. I want you to just spit out content that you think is boring, because the more boring you think it is, the better I will think it is. Yeah, so I've had £20,457 signed in the last few days, and I've quoted 39. Crazy. All right, guys, so I'm actually just responding to an inquiry that we've had while I'm waiting for the next inquiry. Right, let's do a prospect call together because they have arrived. Hello.
Hello, hi Rachel.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Event production, online consulting. Tell me how you arrived here. Awesome, great news. Well, I'm excited to have you. I, in these sessions, basically can answer any questions that you've got. Most people just really like it if I hold your hand and take you through, assuming that you know nothing, and map out exactly what what it's like to be self-employed in the UK, what your responsibilities are, make sure that you're not accidentally doing anything illegal, which normally if you're being a great person and you're running a great business, you're not accidentally doing anything illegal. I can run you through all of your deadlines and what having an accountant is like as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Amazing. In the UK, there's two different ways that you can be self-employed. There's being a sole trader and then there's being a limited company. I have a note taker in here as well, so if you're frantically writing things down, I can give you this call recorded afterwards for you to watch 10 times over as well. So like, take a deep breath, we're good. As a sole trader in the UK, your responsibilities each year in terms of dates and deadlines are from the 6th of April in one year to the 5th of April in the next year. My role is making sure that you receive the maximum amount of impact and the maximum amount of community from using our services in an industry where you could choose anyone to be your accountant. And so for statutory services, which happen once a year, you could choose anyone. There's lots of people who outsource the work to different countries who don't have to pay minimum wage and don't treat their team very nicely. And so for us, the value proposition is much more important than the price. And so our values and our service package for you as a client is split into 3 sections. So that's what it's like to be a client. And after this call, I will prepare a lovely proposal for you, which includes your fees. Everything that I've just explained is just the basics of being a client of ours. You don't pay for any of that. We basically just add on the services that you need on top of that. And so for you, given all of the deadlines and your responsibilities, we at this point would just quote for 2 things. The first is a set of accounts and the second is a tax return. That was a bit of a word vomit from me onto you.
Very interesting.
Okay. Are you all right to tell me a little bit about your plans for the business? Obviously, I would just quote for you based on the minimum amount of turnover because you don't know where you're at. But are you all right to tell me a little bit about your plans for the business?
Of course, 100%.
I'd say as well, like, it's really important to understand that in the accounting space, there are so many different options and so many different companies to work with that offer very different things. And so our focus is very, very much on values, community, and support. If we chat today and you're like, actually, my budget is, there is no budget, or like, this is too much for me. I do a lot of work with other accountants who maybe have smaller teams with less overheads and so can do a similar style of work. Obviously, none of the resources, but if you were like, I actually really just want to get my tax return done and like, I'm not really interested in any of the extra stuff, we can also just refer you to other accountants who could do something similar. They maybe just have a lower benefits package, a lower service package, and a more compliance and like just get your tax return done as well. There's a couple of different things that we look to do whenever we take anyone on as a client. And the first is just make sure that we have your communication preferences right. So I'm actually hard of hearing, and so I really struggle to hear on the phone. And so my communication preferences are, please email me, my inbox is my Bible, like do not call me. For most people, we just email them, and if we need them urgently, we'll call them on their mobile, but we really try not to like jump scare you with like unplanned phone calls. And so I just wanted to check if you have any communication preferences outside of our standard email and then call. In order for us to sit here in a year's time, and for you to say like, I score you 12 out of 10 as my accountant, what do we need to know? So for reference, before anyone from our firm contacts you, we will look at your communication preferences and also your answer to this question to make sure that we are bringing this into every conversation. And so what would need to happen for the next 12 months for you to be like 12 out of 10?
I really just need to feel supported in the sense that I feel safe that I'm doing everything legally.
So lots of people have lots of questions when they come on these calls. Do you have any questions that I haven't answered yet?
Yes, I have one question. Fantastic. Thank you
Amazing.
so much.
Have a great day. Thank you so much. I'll pop you an email this afternoon.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye. She was nice. That was a nice one for you to see. I've got 2 minutes. Can I go for a wee? No, I've got 1 minute. I can't go for a wee. Next up, pre-meeting notes say, finding the admin of running my business difficult, and I've been following you on Instagram for a while.
I take our team on an all-inclusive, all-expenses-paid trip every single year.
I'm just going to stop recording until they come. Okay, this prospect has just emailed to say that they need to reschedule. And so I was gonna film a voiceover for a video that I'd scheduled to do today, but I've actually just found a bit of a trending audio that's very easy to make, and so I'm gonna make that instead. So you can come behind me in the 10 minutes I have between meetings and we can make some content together. Okay, so just for context, because you're probably thinking, what the fuck is she doing? So this is the audio. And so I've actually just seen a plastic surgeon do it very well. Where it says, like, I'm just going to explain how to look like a plastic surgeon without surgery. So I'm going to do an accountant explaining how to pay zero tax in the UK for the rest of your life. Okay, so the first way... Okay, I'm just going to show you what this looked like. This took me 1 second to make, so probably it's going to go bloody viral, because the content that takes 1 second will go viral, versus the content that I spend hours making. We'll see. So I'm just responding to a DM from someone who was going to have a meeting earlier but didn't, so I'm just going to get some admin done. Okay, admin over. I'm going to do some emails because I've got 10 minutes between now and my last 2 of the day. Okay, so I don't mean to alarm you, but that audio may have broken the internet of people commenting being like, the sound's not working. Someone, like a friend of mine, another accountant, just sent a picture of the reel to me and was like, the audio's broken. The audio is broken on this reel. Because, as well, guys, the caption on that video says how to pay no tax for the rest of your life. And people think it's serious. But the only way to pay no tax for the rest of your life would be to die tomorrow. And even then, that wouldn't work. So just getting my notes ready. Okay, these pre-meeting notes say, started my business, got no idea what I'm doing with the financial side of things. Can you tell a theme here? Want to explore getting an accountant, but I don't know anything about having an accountant. Looking to find out what you do, how much you cost, and how you can help me. Be a nice one. Oh my god, people are literally commenting on this reel being like, hey, there's loads of white noise. Oh no, I look like a rapper. Put that back in. What does self-employed life look like for you at the moment?
Yeah, sure. So okay. So a little bit about me. My accountants that I had, found them online, they're just not very hands-on. I've had to like really kind of like jump on their neck. I want to get it in a nice, clean place and kind of like just start on a good foot.
Okay, are you alright to tell me the official name of the limited company so that I can have a stalky stalk on Company's House?
Yes, please.
Every single person that emails you from our firm, you'll get allocated to one point of contact in each team. So we have a business services team and a year-end team. So one works inside your business and one works on the statutory stuff every year. Every single time they email you, this link will be in their email signature. So you just get driven to this landing page at all times. So, juicy question. If you could score your current accountant out of 10, what would you score them?
I'd give them a 5, and I'll tell you why.
Great.
Getting hold of her is tricky. I can either speak to her at 1 a.m. in the morning because of the time difference. It's just a joke in terms of communication with that, and obviously that affects the response times. Out of 10, yeah.
So in order for us to sit here in... Oh, are you there? She's left the meeting. She's back. She's left. I don't think she's come back, guys. She's just left the meeting. Okay, I'm gonna just have to email her, I think, to follow up because her internet must have died or something.
Good morning. Thought to bring this chaotic vlog of back-to-back-to-back meetings to a close, you could join me on doing something that I have been very, very excited to do. So I explained at the beginning of this video that I am very removed from the prospective client call process now, and that is very intentional. It means that I'm in a position to work on the business and grow the practice and make sure that our business runs as a business, not as a traditional accounting firm. And I have been doing the prospective calls for a month now because Annabella, our business development manager, is traveling Australia, and she is back next week, and I'm about to get my well-being back. And so I am about to remove myself from the online bookings, which I am very, very excited to do. And so I thought I'd bring you behind the scenes of me taking me and James off the bookings so that we finally get our well-being back. It's been a lot. I feel like I've definitely learned a lot. I feel like as an employer, I'm very much like a yes person. Like I want people to be able to say yes to stuff and take these opportunities. Would I do this again? No, I would not. I would say, and you'll see this through the vlogs that have like come before this video and are coming after this video, that I definitely, obviously you can't plan these things, but have had just a really, 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 really difficult month in my personal life. And so this happening at the same time has just been absolutely awful, to be honest. And so you can't plan these things, but it has been really, really hard. So given the personal situation, I definitely wouldn't do it again. I would probably say, yeah, no. I don't know who I'm kidding. I would not do this again. Would not do it again. So yeah, it's been really hard. And again, it's like I used to do this as my full-time job, but like the job I have now is also a full-time job. Like my role has changed a lot over the course of the last few years, and my full-time job is a full-time job, and I've been doing both at the same time, as well as planning a funeral, and just had so much going on in my personal life. So I'm about to take me and James off. Yes, we are officially off. We're officially off. Annabella is back early next week. I would say I do very, very, very much go above and beyond for my team. And so Annabella she's not coming back to a normal inbox. Her inbox currently has 10 emails in after a month off, and they are all categorized as either quick ticks or internal referrals that she just needs to add to a spreadsheet. So she's coming back to a month after 10 emails. So I do not I'm very, very much, if I've said yes to something, I've committed to it 110%. And my inbox actually at the moment only has 12 emails in it too. So it has cost me my well-being slightly, but it has been done. And so now that I've taken myself off bookings, I thought that would be a really nice way to close off this vlog. Say thank you so much for spending some time with me. I just watched the first cut of that vlog back in order to be able to film an outro that really nicely bookends the video, and I really feel like I'm enjoying my new style of videos, my new style of vlogs, and I really feel like you're getting a real unfiltered view of what my life is like. And so I'm really excited. If you have watched this video to the end, thank you so much. I love you very much, and I will see you again very soon.